about is we've been hearing that a lot of the people on board the doomed planes actually called 911 and loved ones on cell phones in the minutes just before the jets crashed.
One of those who called was Mark Bingham. He actually called his mother from United Flights 93, which would later crash in Pennsylvania. And this morning, his mother talked to Good Morning America.
Well, at 6:45 yesterday morning, the phone rang. A friend of the family, Carol Phipps, answered it, ran to get my sister-in-law, Mark's aunt, Kathy. He said to her, "I wanted to let you know that I love you." And Kathy told him, "Well, we love you, Mark." And then she went to get me. I ran to the phone. Mark said, "Mom, this is Mark Bingham." He gave me his last name. He was so rattled. He said, "I want to let you know that I love you." I told him that we all love him. He said that he was on United Flight 93 from Newark to San Francisco, and that there were 3 guys who had taken over the aircraft, and they say they have a bomb. I asked him, "Who are these people?" And he seemed distracted, didn't hear the question, didn't answer. Then he came back on, said, "It's true." And I said, "I believe you." I told him I love him, and then it went dead. He was not calling from a cell phone. He was calling from the air phone, probably at his seat. He was seated at the back of first class toward the front of the aircraft. It was a pretty light load that day. We were hoping that Mark had a chance to perhaps work with other passengers to thwart the intent of these hijackers.
There are reports that perhaps the passengers on that plane were able to overwhelm the hijackers.
We hope so. We know that Mark was a very active and take-charge guy. He was a large man. It's likely, based on things that we've heard, that he was able to participate in at least thwarting the efforts of these people that took control of the aircraft. We know that of the 4 aircraft that were that were hijacked, his was the only one that didn't reach its target. And we hope that Mark was able to take an active stand against these folks
when
in any case.
When he called you to
Yes.
express his love to you and to his aunt, did you have a sense from him, or did he say explicitly that he thought this plane was going to go down?
No, he didn't have a chance to say anything like that. I could tell by his voice that he was quite concerned. He was calm, but I could tell he was frightened. Telling me his last name, "This is Mark Bingham." Incidentally, he is a big supporter of Senator John McCain. We were very touched by the eloquence of Senator McCain earlier. He is a very patriotic young man, as is his aunt Kathy. And all of us here, we're very touched by the words of our president. We hope that this horrible set of events will help to bring the American people together in a real effort against this kind of terrorism.
Well, a difficult day across the country today as Americans really try to come to grips with these tragic series of attacks on our country.
Thank you very much. In case I don't see you again.
I said that.
That the plane has been taken over by hijackers. And then I said, "Well, we love you very much too, Mark. Let me go get your mother."
I got on the phone, Mark, and he said, "Hi, Mom, this is Mark Bingham." Give me his last name. And he said, "I want to let you know that I love you. And I'm flying. I think he said I'm in the air. I'm calling you on the airphone of the airplane."
In his seat.
I presume so. He said, I want you to know I love you very much, and I'm calling you from the plane. We've been taken over. There are 3 men that say they have a bomb." And I said, "Well, who are they, Mark?" And he repeated that he loved me, and he said, I don't think he said, "I don't know who they are." He became distracted there, as if someone was speaking to him, and he said, "It's something to the effect of, it's true." And then the phone went dead.
Well, here's Matt.
Katie, it was devastating enough to watch the attacks on our country unfold on Tuesday, but for many Americans, the devastation hit much closer to home. Moments before jetliners were deliberately crashed, there were a series of chilling phone calls made by victims aboard those doomed planes. Alice Hoagland got one such call from her son. Ms. Hoagland, our condolences to you.
Appreciate that.
Your son, Mark Bingham, was on board United Airlines Flight 93. That's the plane that took off from Newark, bound for San Francisco, and the plane that eventually crashed in Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Can you tell me about the call you received?
Yes, we got a call about 6:45 in the morning yesterday. The house was full of people because we just have new babies in the house. A friend answered it. Carol Phipps went and got Mark's aunt, Kathy. Kathy spoke to him first. He told her, "I love you," and she said, "Mark, we love you very much." And then Kathy ran and got me, and Mark said, "Mom, this is Mark Bingham. I love you. First of all, I want to tell you guys I love you." And I repeated, "Mark, we love you very much." And he said, "I'm on a flight from," he identified it to Kathy as Flight 93, United Flight 93, from Newark to San Francisco, and the plane has been taken over by 3 guys, he said, who say they have a bomb. And I asked him, "Mark, who are these people?" And he didn't hear me, didn't get the question, didn't answer it, was distracted. And I asked the question again. I heard some commotion in the background. Mark seemed to be talking to someone else, or someone was talking to him. And then the phone went dead. He told me at some point during the conversation that he was not calling me with his cell phone. He was using the air phone, probably at his seat. We know from other sources that he was sitting in seat 4D, which is the first class on this United flight. I'm a flight attendant for United Airlines, as is my sister Candace Hoagland, and Mark was flying on her companion pass. That's how they knew to contact us.
Ms. Hoagland,
terrible.
You say you heard some commotion in the background. Can you describe that for me?
Well, the FBI has asked us similar questions, asked us if we heard Mark mention anything besides a bomb. He made no mention of knives or box cutters or guns or any other weapons. He mentioned the 3 guys. He wasn't able to get out word about their description, who he thought they might be. I couldn't make out anything distinct from the background. I was trying hard to hear his voice, which was coming over clearly when he was speaking. He spoke fairly slowly, calmly, although I could tell he was under a great deal of duress.
After the phone went dead, Ms. Hoagland, how long was it after that you heard that indeed that plane had crashed?
The call came in about 6:45. We understand that the plane crashed about 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And so I guess probably by the time he hung up with us, or the phone went dead, it was about 3 minutes. He had about 12 more minutes to live, I guess. We hope that Mark was able to take a proactive part in thwarting these hijackers. So I have hopes that he was able to. He was in a good position. He was forward in the aircraft, could probably be in full view of everything that was going on, probably saw what happened in the cockpit. He was a very active, take charge, assertive young man. We have it from other people, another man on the aircraft who called his wife, who said that he and some other passengers were hoping to get at these guys somehow. So this was the only flight of the 4 that did not reach its target, which they believe to be Camp David, and that gives us reason to think that perhaps Mark was able to help save the lives of people on the ground.
Yeah, there was another cell phone call made from someone who'd locked himself in a rear bathroom, who said that we're going to have to do something because it appears we're going to die either way, and we have to try something. I mean, it appears that something heroic did take place on that flight.
I firmly believe that. Mark has been in a clinch in times past and has come through with flying colors. He's a Cal grad, rugby player, very assertive guy, aggressive and smart, and we love him very much. We're going to miss him.
I can only, you know, I think this might be a weird way to describe this, Miss Hoagland, but the phone call in some ways has to be thought of as a gift.
Oh, we were very comforted to be able to get the news from Mark himself. Somehow it made it much easier to take. It's awful. It's a national time of mourning for all of us, so I'm just one of many, many people. We're so touched by the words of our president, by the words of the Congress people, hearing America being sung on the steps of the Capitol building. It's just profoundly moving for me. I'm delighted to see this rebirth of patriotism among the American people. We need to be strong and work together to overcome this hatred that's taken us over.
Well, you are amazingly strong given the circumstances, Miss Hoagland, and our condolences, our severe and sincere condolences to you and your family.
Our whole family appreciates it very much. I'm delighted to be able to express to the world how much we loved Mark Bingham, my son.
He sounds like an amazing young man. Miss Hoagland, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Wow.